All right, welcome to the Pimpoholic TV podcast. This is one Pimp, and I got a special guest in the building. Let me introduce who I got in here. I got the founder of the Corporate Marketing Partners. I got the former executive for Slip and Slide Records, former radio and marketing promotions for Poe Boy Entertainment, Mr. Aaron Lucas. How you doing, my man? Welcome to Pimpoholic TV podcast. What's going on?
I'm blessed, man. I'm happy to be here, man. Really humbled that I'm here.
I'm happy, man. I'm glad you tuned in with me, man. You got a nice, we're gonna get to it. You got a nice track record, man. So we're gonna kind of go back to the beginning and lead up to where you're at now. Now you started out in radio, Hot 105, 99 Jams, and then you eventually went on to Channel 7, WSVN. I'm sorry. So give us a rundown of what you did in Hot 105 and 99 Jams, and how did you actually get into that situation?
Well, like my senior year of high school, my life kind of like changed. I was an athlete and I ran into some trouble. So I had to change high schools, and my father set me up with an internship at Cox Radio. And I wrote the news for Tracy Cloyd at Hot 105 for like the last 6 months of my senior year of high school. I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, write the news for Tracy Cloyd, an affiliate for South Florida. So that was my senior year. I graduated from high school early. With that, she introduced me to the sister station, which was in WEDR 99 Jams, which interning there one night in E-class while he was walking in Jackie interview with DJ Khaled. And from there, I was introduced to the other side.
Hold on one second. Hey, put your headphones in. You might, because you're echoing a little bit, I think. Let's just see how that sounds with your headphones in.
All right.
Make sure it's not mine.
Is it better?
Yeah, I know. Okay, now if you don't mind, go back and repeat what you just said again. Now give us the rundown of how you actually got the Hot 105 and 99 Jams, and then also speak on kind of tie all that together. How you got there and the roles that you played there. Now, I heard who you said you met. We're not gonna go into that yet. We're gonna get into that later. But how you got there.
Right. So my senior year of high school, my life had like kind of turned. I was an athlete. And I got in a little bit of trouble, and I had to change schools. And my father, he ended up getting me an internship with Cox Radio, which changed my life to this day. So I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day and write the news for Tracy Cloyd, the Hot 105, journalist for the Tom Joyner Morning Show.
Okay.
In South Florida. She still is to this day. She's been doing it like over 15 years. You know, Tracy super dope. So I used to write the news for her for like my 6 months. I graduated from high school early. And so I would spend basically like when everybody else was in high school, the rest of it, I would spend my days at the radio station. Tracy was really impressed by my work ethic, and she ended up introducing me to the sister station, which was in the same building, WEDR 99 Jams. When she got me an internship there, one night I met E-class while he was with Jackie O. They were working Nookie. And from there, I ended up on the record side of the business.
Right. That was one of my, I love Jackie O. I love Nookie. That was one of my favorite songs right there. I like that. Now, was Jackie signed to Poe Boy?
You're breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
I say, was Jackie O signed to Poe Boy at the time?
Yeah, she was signed to Poe Boy at the time. Poe Boy was my entry into the record side of business. Like I always tell people, like, you know, I'm in the entertainment business because when I came in at first, I was on the radio side. You know, it's like people don't understand. Like it's different sides of this. You know, you got the radio side, you got the record side. You know,
right.
Then you got the touring side. There's different sides. You know, so yeah, she was with Poe Boy, and then from there, I just continued to maintain a relationship. I ended up going to college at the University of Pittsburgh. And I continued to maintain a relationship with E-class and his brother, Big Chuck. And then one day in my junior year, Chuck called me and said, Ross got the biggest record in Miami. And I was like, yeah, whatever. You know, and then I came down for Christmas break. And I went to the Runners with Chuck. And I went to a club with the Runners and Chuck. And it was the Runners' first record. They weren't famous at the time. I'll never forget the club Metropolis. And they dropped Rick Ross hustling, and the whole club went crazy. And like after that, it changed my life. I couldn't focus in school no more. You know, I took an extra week off spring break to put the jewelry in the hustling video because I had a relationship with a jeweler in Pittsburgh. And my senior year, right before my senior year, I was offered a job by Slip and Slide, and I never turned back. You know?
Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. And how did you actually meet? For people that don't know, E-Class was Rick Ross's manager at one point in time, right? How did you meet? How did y'all meet?
Being in the radio station, man, like putting in extra hours. Like, you know, like I said, like at first my job was to be there in the morning writing the news, you know, and then it got to Tracy was like, okay, I think you need to be down with the hip hoppers, you know, so I ended up, you know, being with WEDR. But I would spend extra hours past my shift in the station because Khaled had 1 day a week then, and you never knew who was gonna come in on that 1 day a week. So I would always just, you know, just sit back. Even if I had been in there since 4 in the morning, I would sit back. They would put them on at 11 in the night until I think like 2, 3 in the morning or some shit, you know, right before Waggy T. So I would sit back because Khaled would have any and everybody coming through that shit, you know. And,
right.
I was on my way to college, you know, it was like the explosion of the Miami music business. So I was wide-eyed, and I used to just sit back and just wait, you know, put in extra hours in my shift. And one day E-Class came in, you know, with the entourage, you know, and with Jackie O, you know, all with the Poe Boy chain. And I remember I looked at JR, E-Class was an assistant at the time, and I was like, I want to get in the record business. And he was like, you sure? I was like, yeah. And after that, you know, we just kept a relationship. And you know, they embraced me, which was cool. You know, I appreciate them embracing me. They let me come around, and from the beginning, man, like, you know, from Briscoe at his beginning, you know, so you know, I really appreciate that. Like at that time, I didn't have the industry know-how I had, so I got a lot of love for E-Class because it taught me a lot, and he allowed me in a situation that really changed my life.
All right. Okay, now, so you come down, you bring the jury down from Pittsburgh to the Rick Ross video, and they kind of got your ass in the door right there, right? You feel me?
Yeah.
I know. Now, once you got hired at Slip and Slide, what was your actual job title at Slip and Slide?
I was project manager for Deuce Poppy's project. He had a deal with Capitol Records. When Ross got his deal, 6 artists in Miami got deals after him because Ross was such a big impact.
Right. All
right. And Deuce Poppy was one of them. So I was project manager for Deuce Poppy's project. I was managing an artist in Pittsburgh by the name of S Money at the time. He actually just is about to come back and re-release. He just did some time. And he was like bigger than Wiz Khalifa. If you look at Wiz Khalifa's first mixtapes on the internet, it's gonna say the King and the Prince, and S is the King. And Ted called me in the office one day and was like, man, like, you know, I want you to be project manager for Deuce. I know you don't know what that means, what that entails, but that same shit that you did for that nigga in Pittsburgh, I want you to do that for him. You know, so, you know, I just worked and I learned on the job, you know, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
When we say Ted, that's Ted Lucas, right?
Yeah.
That's the owner of Slip and Slide. For people who don't know, Ted Lucas was the owner of CEO of Slip and Slide Records. Now, how long were you at Slip and Slide?
9 years.
And why did y'all part?
9 years. You know, I can't really go into all the details of it, you know, because it ended up in a lawsuit, in a legal situation, you know, and but you know, basically, I'm really grateful for the opportunity and for everything that Ted taught me, you know. However, you know, like at the end of the day, the business didn't end out the way it should have, and I had to, you know, go to court to get what I needed. You know, I'm at a better place in my life, so I don't believe in like talking bad. You know,
that's a good thing. No, that's a good thing.
Like that.
Anyway.
You know, I'm grateful for the opportunity. You know, at the end of the day.
But all that was a blessing in disguise because what came next was corporate marketing partners, right? So, you know, you would basically set yourself up to do your own thing. Now, let me ask you this: when it comes to your company, corporate marketing partners, what does the company actually do?
You said, what do we actually entail? Like, what do we do?
What does the company do? Yeah, what are the services that come with the company? What are the services that the company actually render? And also, who are some of the names of people that y'all work with or represented up until this point?
Perfect. Well, everybody can check out my website, corporatemarketingpartner.com, to get like a brief overview of my services and like my past clients, but I've had everybody from like NBA clients to NFL clients, from Thomas Jones to Jerome James to, Jeremy Minchin, who retired from the Cowboys, like to Dutch Masters to Backwoods. And the main reason why I named my company Corporate Marketing Partners is because everybody knows me in the urban music business. I'm a record executive, but I do marketing for record labels, for major multi-millionaire campaigns. So my skills are transferable, so I want to be able to actually like work with other companies. Like I've done some Fortune 500 campaigns with Backwoods and Dutch Masters and stuff like that, so I actually offer overall marketing services, but our expertise is the music industry. If somebody comes to us and is ready, in the music industry and they have the proper budget, I can guarantee getting them a deal in a certain amount of time. Like my team and me are that strong, but as far as like anything else, like I'm about to do a campaign for the Ghana national government. Like I said, I've had Backwoods, I've had different salons and stuff like that. So that's why I named my company that, to kind of like open myself up to other clientele, because I stamp myself in the urban music business where everybody kind of knows what I do.
But you don't want to limit yourself.
Exactly. But as far as my record executive clients, is one-stop shop. I do everything from distribution. I have a distribution deal with Empire, to making sure you're saturated on the internet, the online blogs, to making sure that you're heard on the radio. I optimize your project. And the main goal of my company, our mantra is that we handle the marketing so that you can do what you do. Because that's what I like to do. Like when I come on a project, like I have a whole merchandiser that I go to and I say, hey, this is the new artist I'm working with. You go do the merchandising, because that's not my expertise. My expertise is marketing, So I want people to come to me and be able to do whatever they do, whether, it is go in the studio and record a record, or whether it is they run their cleaning company or they run their salon, and let me go ahead and handle the marketing for you. You just sit back.
Gotcha. Make perfect sense, man. Make perfect sense. Now, I saw a few things on the resume I read earlier, but just for the people who should know.
You were breaking up. What did you say?
I say, name a few artists that you've also managed or did representation for.
Well, I managed Trick Daddy for his last major album.
Right.
I got love for Trick because I've worked with many artists. I was with Ross from this first album, Port of Miami. Supplies with the thing, but Trick was the first artist to ever put my name in his album. I've had a lot of hate in the music business, and I've done a lot of things for a lot of people that I don't get credit for, but I'm a firm believer in Christ, and everything is working itself out. And Trick was the first artist to put my name in his album, give me the credit. But right now, Russ is one of my clients. I got love for Russ. He does great business. Is
that the white artist, the white rapper?
Yeah.
He be spitting.
Yeah,
he got this song called Me and You, right? Me and You or some shit like that.
Yeah, Russ is dope.
Yeah.
Russ' whole team is Russ from Decatur. Russ' whole team is black, bro.
Right. Okay, yeah, you can tell by the way he carries himself. You can tell. Yeah.
I never had a client like them, bro. I call them just to talk regular, just hey, what's up? Cause his DJ is my friend, and I don't call a lot of people in the industry my friend. And in the middle of it, hey Aaron, just send me a radio report. And the nigga send me 1,000, 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like Russ gets 700,000 a show and he do good business. Is a little bit different than dealing with. You feel me? I done had Ross tell me he loved me. I done had a lot of artists tell me I got you. But these guys are actually showing it. So shout out to Russ, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of love for you. Of course, everybody at Slip and Slide, Rick Ross, Plies, Trina. I've worked with Mr. Cully Park. He was one of my clients.
Smurf out of Atlanta. Smurf. DJ Smurf out of Atlanta. Yeah.
I actually introduced Trans Lee to the market form. Trans Lee's with Grand Hustle now and T.I., but at first he was with Cully Park. A lot of people use me as the fire starter. I'm the one that break the artist. I was with Prize in the beginning of his career. I was with Flo Rida in the beginning. I was with Ross in the beginning. So you see a lot of people with those guys now, but I have expertise of breaking, you know. So you might not see me later on. I consider myself the offensive lineman. You know, you might not see me the Odell Beckham with the bitches and, you know, all that other shit,
right.
but you gonna need me to, you know what I'm saying, to
I get it.
that motherfucking Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. I get it, homie. I get it. I know what you mean.
So like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I do. So I introduced Trans Lee to the market, you know, in Atlanta when he first came out with Mr. Collie Park. I actually also had Lance Chip. I had him with Block Entertainment. Now he's got his own deal with Def Jam right now. I introduced Lance Trip to the market through Block. You know, I used to manage Farnsworth Bentley. I used to have Days Rose Gold, Kodak, and NBA Youngboy's ex-girl. I'm working with Dirtbag now. I just got him a deal with Empire. I got Travis Crate. He's one of Safari's artists, Safari's producer. I work with a lot of artists, man. Like, but really, to tell you the truth, like the highlights, it wasn't so much of the money. It was really like working for my idols. Like when I moved to Atlanta, and the day that Collie Park gave me a check, like I'll never forget that feeling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like coming back to my condo and like really having like sitting back and like really having everything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like sitting back, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like I used to look up to this dude, like, and he sat back and he asking me for advice. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. Like having like you know, like Freddie P from Making the Band is one of my good friends now. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to
Freddie from out of Miami, right? Freddie from Miami. He was
like watching him in college and him being one of my friends that we talk on a personal basis. Even like being able to have Trick do his only mixtape in his career. Like those are some of like the most successes I've ever had in my life. Like, you know, now even like just helping Dirtbag recently with his deal with Empire, because I grew up listening to him. You know, so I work with, you know, Super Bowl winning athletes, and you know, like I worked on platinum projects, you know, but those artists, they didn't give me plaques, they didn't put my name in the credits, you know. So like at the end of the day, that shit ain't matter, you know. Like I mean, I went to my first BET Hip Hop Awards 2 years ago, bro. And Slip and Slide flew me to every BET Hip Hop Awards for 4 years, and I never went in the door. I hate to see like, look, it was a chick told me 6 months ago, Aaron, you got me in the BET Awards, and I don't even remember this shit. You feel me? I went to my first one 2 years ago. I went to my first one with Empire. You know, like 2 years ago, they had me go with Duchess from Black Ink. You know, I really appreciate it because I had Slip and Slide for years, send me up into the first one and just work that shit for years. And I'm watching the whole staff come in, you know? So like, I learned to really, because I didn't get a lot of the accolades early, I learned to really appreciate, you know, the small goals. You know, when you can sit back and you could be like, you know, like, damn, I'm able to get one of my idols some money. You know, like, damn, I made Trick Daddy do a mixtape, and he ain't never did mixtapes in his career. Like, I'm the only one to ever get Trick Daddy to do drops, you know? So, like, really, like, I'm doing stuff, like, right now, I'm just focused on, like, that, like, doing it for the culture, you know, like, hopefully, like, helping some, like, more dope kids, like, change their lives, you know, like, one of my clients told me a few years ago that the work that I'm doing is going to live forever past my life, and that was one of my goals. So, like, I just want to continue to, like, especially with Corona, we don't know what's going to happen.
Right, we showed the fuck.
I want to continue to, like, so it's not so much like the artists and the resume, the people I didn't work with. To me, it's like, you know, the ones that I grew up watching and listening to, you know, my beat up Capri when I was in high school, and now I'm able to help and they listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand what that means.
It's a humbling experience, man. And it's some of this shit you can't. Yeah. It's some of this shit. I tell a lot of people, a lot of, man, relationships and certain networking and certain things that you go through is worth more than the money you'll make. You know what I'm saying? I try to explain this to a lot of people, man, for real. Yeah. So I definitely get what you're saying when you say that. I get it word for word. I understand exactly what you mean, man. Yeah. Now let me go back to the corporate marketing partners. It's pretty much the last time I'm gonna ask you, unless you got something you need to tell me. What are the future plans for corporate marketing partners? What is coming? What's coming soon? What do you got chance to? What are you looking at for corporate marketing?
I mean, mainly first off, all my clients, like, you know, Corona has been good to me. I got some clients that have been coming to me with projects, you know, and I'm just trying to make sure that all their projects are just serviced to the best of my ability, you know, as far as like radio promo, as far as making sure that my distributor Empire does everything they can for them, and then as far as giving them everything that my distributor needs for ammo so that they could do something for them. And then I've really been working on, I'm looking at breaking my own artists, but I want to have the right artists. And so, like, in the meantime, what I've been doing with Corona is there's a lot of, like, the trap just closed for a lot of girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, any girl that's doing OnlyFans, that's stripping, whatever, I don't give a fuck where you at. I just flew a girl in from Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying, 3 weeks ago and spent $2,000 on her in 4 days, and another month later setting her record out. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody that they trap clothes and you got them followers, holler at me. You ain't got to be able to sing. You ain't got to be able to rap. I had a record written for you. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get money. And I set you up with a career that you have past Corona. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I've really been focused on right now. And just letting God play out the rest, you know?
Hey, the artist, the female you're talking about, is that the with the song Quarantine Coochie, Quarantine Pussy?
Yeah. I'm dropping that. You know, I'm not really pushing her as an artist anymore, but I'm pushing that record. I got a little EP I'm dropping on her, but like I'm gonna do that same formula with a whole bunch of different ones. Like I got another chick I'm looking at right now down here, a couple other ones that are like interested, and Trick Camp is helping me, you know, as far as like the studio. So like, and the writers, like we ready to go, man. Like I took her literally. She don't even live in Tulsa, bro. Like I can't even name the title of the town she live in, bro. She 20 minutes outside Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight country. You know what I'm saying? Took an OnlyFans chick, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just put her in the studio and had a hit record in 2 days. Had 4 hit records in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to just do that. Like, you know, I'm trying to, my main goal, like my purpose I'm on right now, like, is really like, in the last year, I started finding my purpose as far as volunteering with homeless kids and like feeding homeless kids. And like, in the career that we're in, we're blessed that we don't have to have 9 to 5 and we're not there, you know? So any way I can be able to have residual income to be able to help other people, you know, eat with me where I can be able to outlive my purpose, you know what I'm saying? To be able to help these kids that are still in the homeless shelter right now during Corona, you know? Like, that's what I'm trying to do. And it's like, you know, and like, you know, anybody that I can help as far as marketing wise, I'm with them. In the meantime, all the chicks, you're trapped in clothes, let's get this money.
That's what's up, man. Well, give everybody, before we end, give everybody your social media, all your social media information so they can look you up once this interview is done. Your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, all this shit.
Everything is the same. I push records on all social media. I push records. My website address is corporatemarketingpartner.com. You know, I appreciate the opportunity. Like I said, I push records on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. You can find me on Facebook, Aaron Lucas, and corporatemarketingpartner.com. Corporate Gangster Music Group coming soon in God's timing.
All right. Well, that was my man, Aaron Lucas, man, from Corporate Marketing Partners. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. Real educated, real. Looking at this right now, make sure you always go to YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Pimpoholic TV. You can see this interview on my channel, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll holler at y'all, man. Salute.
Y'all make sure y'all go on every streaming platform and listen to Skinny Bitty Quarantine Pussy because I got to recoup. Skinny Bitty Quarantine Pussy. I'm recouping for the kids, man. I got to recoup, baby. You feel me? Skinny Bitty. The artists don't care nothing about us recouping. We got families too. You feel me? I got to recoup. Skinny Bitty Quarantine Pussy. You ain't got to download it. Just listen to that bitch about 3-4 times.
That works, bro. That works. Much love, homie. Appreciate you for tuning in, big dog. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you.
For sure, homie.